Prokaryote comes from Greek pro, before, and karyon, not or kernel. Prokaryotic cell is a single-celled microorganism. When we talk about single-celled microorganisms, this would be the tiny creatures that we can see without using a microscope. Let's proceed to characteristics of prokaryotic cell. The cell wall is made up of carbohydrates and amino acids. So carbohydrates helps a cell wall to maintain its shapes, and the amino acids are the building blocks of protein. Classifications of prokaryotic cell. In the two empire system, prokaryotes were classified within the empire Prokaryota. In the three-domain system, prokaryotes are divided into two domains, bacteria and archaea. What is bacterial cell? Bacterial cells are unicellular organisms found everywhere on Earth, from cell to the human body. They have different shapes and structures. They have the ability to form tough, dormant structures known as endospores that helps them to survive under unfavorable conditions. The endospores become active when the conditions are favorable again. This would be the examples of bacteria when we will use a microscope. What is archaeal cells? Archaeobacteria are unicellular organisms similar to bacteria in shape and size. They are found in extreme environments such as hot springs and other places such as soil and even inside humans. Just like bacteria, archaea have one circular chromosome. They also possess plasmids. The evolution of prokaryotic cell. They lack mitochondria and eukaryotic membrane-bound organelles. So prokaryotic cells don't have things like mitochondria and eukaryotic membrane-bound organelles because they are like the first and basic versions of cells. Their structure is designed for their specific environments and doesn't need the complicated parts like mitochondria that are necessary for the more advanced eukaryotic cells. Diversity. While typically being unicellular, some prokaryotes form large colonies. Prokaryotes can have multicellular stages in their life cycles. So, most prokaryotic cells are single-celled, but some like to live together in large groups or colonies. Prokaryotic cells can live in alive or in groups, and some can change shape or go through different life stages. Reproduction. Prokaryotes reproduce asexually, and horizontal gene transfer also takes place. So, prokaryotic cells can make copies of themselves without help, and they can also share tiny bits with others. Cell structure. Prokaryotic cell has three regions: cell envelope, cytoplasmic region, and exterior structures. So prokaryotic cells have three main parts: the cell envelope, like the cell's skin; the cytoplasmic region, where everything happens inside; and exterior structures, like cell antennas. So prokaryotic cells have different parts that make up their structure. Cell envelope consists of plasma membrane, cell wall capsule, in some cases provides rigidity and protection. So the cell envelope consists of the plasma membrane, the cell skin, the cell wall like a strong castle wall, and sometimes a capsule protective hat. It provides strength and protection to the cell. So the cell envelope is like the cell's armor that keep it safe. Cell wall, made of 52 glycan in bacteria, acts as a barrier and prevents cytolysis. Some eukaryotic cells also have a cell wall. So the cell wall is primarily made of a substance called 52-glycan in bacteria, acts as a strong barrier preventing the cell from bursting. Some other cells like plant cells also have a cell wall for protection. So the cell wall is like the cell's protective fence. Let's proceed to cytoplasmic region. Contains genome, DNA, ribosomes, inclusions, genetic materials freely found in the cytoplasm. Plasmids. Plasmids are extrachromosomal DNA elements, usually circular, being called additional genes. Plasmids are extra pieces of DNA that some cells carry. They are usually circular and can contain special genes that help the cell in various ways. So plasmids are like the cell's extra instruction manuals with unique abilities. Let's proceed to exterior structures. Flagella and pili, facilitate movement and communication. So on the outside of the cell, there are structures like tiny legs, flagella for movement, and strings pili for communication. These structures help the cell move and interact with its surroundings. So exterior structures help the cell move around and communicate to other cells. So this would be the diagram of prokaryotic cell. There are 9 structures. The first one is capsule, cell wall, plasma membrane, DNA nucleus, mesosome, ribosome, cytoplasm, and bacterial flagellum. This would be a video using a microscope.
Okay, so class, for now we will discuss about the second type of cell, which is the eukaryotic cell. Wherein the first type of cell is discussed by your teacher Lester, which is the prokaryotic cell. Very good. So, do you have any idea on what is eukaryotic cell? Anyone? If you want to answer, just raise your right hand. Okay, so what's your answer? Okay, so let's see if your answer is correct. So, what is eukaryotic cell? Read the first bullet. Okay, very good. Eukaryotic cells are organisms whose cells have a nucleus enclosed within a nuclear envelope, wherein nucleus is an organelle or little organ surrounded by a membrane called nuclear envelope. And nucleus is where the DNA is stored. So let's read the second bullet. Eukarta and eukarya comes from the Greek word EU means well or good, and karyon meaning nut or kernel. And then nut or kernel, it looks like a peanut. And then let's read the first bullet. Eukaryotes represent a tiny minority of the living organisms. So, what does it mean by living organisms? organisms is anyone? Okay, very good. Is anything that has a life. Okay, so can you give example of a living organisms? Plants. Okay, that's one. What else? Animals. Okay, very good. These living organisms is a part of a eukaryotic cell. And eukaryotes may be unicellular and multicellular. When we say unicellular, what comes into your mind? What? Okay, very good. Unicellular meaning it is single-celled. And for the multicellular, it is multi-celled. From the word multi. Okay. So, there are 4 examples of eukaryotic cells here, wherein the first one is, everyone read, the animals, the plants, the fungi, and the protists. So, what do you think is the reason why these examples belong to the eukaryotic cell? Anyone? Just raise your right hand and I will call your name. Okay, very good. So as we said earlier, that eukaryotic cells have a nucleus, wherein these 4 examples have their own nucleus, wherein the animals, this is their nucleus, the center. And then for the plant cells, where do you think is the nucleus here? Here? Okay, you're correct. This is the nucleus of a plant cell. And then the fungi, where do you think is the nucleus here? Where? This is? Oh, this. Okay, you're correct. And for the protists, as we can see in this picture, this is the nucleus. Okay. So these living organisms have nucleus, so they belong to the eukaryotic cells. And then kindly read. Okay, thank you. Eukaryotes can produce both asexually through mitosis and sexually through meiosis and gamete fission. So, when we're talking about asexual reproduction, it consists of one cell. And for sexual reproduction, it consists of 2 cells that are combined together to make another cell. Okay. So, looking into the mitosis, kindly read. Everyone. Okay, very good. So, this mitosis consists of only one cell that produces 2 identical cells that are diploid. So in this mitosis there are 46 chromosomes, and for the meiosis, please read. Okay, thank you. In the meiosis there are 2 cells that are combined together to form another cells, and in meiosis there are 23 chromosomes. So what is the difference between mitosis and meiosis? Raise your hand, those who want to answer. No. What's your answer? What's the difference between mitosis and meiosis? Okay, very good. So in this picture, this is a eukaryotic cell. So there are 8 parts of a eukaryotic cell, and each of these parts, they have its function. So the first one is the endoplasmic reticulum. This endoplasmic reticulum, or the ER, processes molecules within the cell and transport it into their final destination. And for the nucleus, this is the nucleus. This is the headquarters of the cell, and this is covered with nuclear envelope and also covered with nuclear pores. This is the pores, the circles, the small circles. And for the cytoplasm, this is the interior of the cell, and it surrounds the nucleus. And then for the cytoskeleton, this is the scaffolding of the cell, and it helps maintain their shape. So for the ribosomes, this you can see that it surrounds the cell. The ribosomes, the small molecules. And for the ribosomes, this reads the RNA, wherein it translates it into protein by sticking together amino acids. And for the mitochondrion, this is the powerhouse of the cell, wherein it helps turn energy from the food we eat into energy that the cell can use. And so, the lysosome, this contains enzymes that can break down larger molecules. And for the Golgi body, this is the post office of the cell, wherein items are well packaged and labeled. So I hope you understand the function of everyone. And then for this, as you can see, there are arrows here. And then all you need to do is just write their names. I need 8 students fall in line and write their names. Okay, let's check your answer. Your answer is the plasmic reticulum. This is correct. And the nucleus. This is correct. This is the cytoplasm. You're correct. The cytoskeleton. Correct. And then the ribosomes. Correct. The mitochondrion. Correct. And then the lysosome. Correct. And then the Golgi body. And then I hope you understand our topic, and I need you to answer my question. What is a eukaryotic cell? Okay, everyone. Those who want to answer again, just raise your hand. Okay, very good. Eukaryotic cells are cells that are usually multicellular or unicellular. Very good. And they have a nucleus. Then give examples of eukaryotic cell. There are 4. I presented 4 here. Okay. The first one is animals. And then the second is the plants, the fungi, and the protists. Okay, so it seems that you understand our topic today. So thank you for your cooperation, students, and thank you very much.